This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
(6:15 p.m.) This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardana, assisted by Sanjay, and read by Gitanjali Ramnaikal. The headlines. The Department of Health cautions the public of the dry weather condition. The Prime Minister advises officials to take action to solve the administrative issues of the Samurdhi officers. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardana says that the educated young generation is a dynamic power that uplifts the country for a better future. The Treasury allocates 5 billion rupees for the Aswasuma benefit payments. A cabinet paper regarding the daily allowance for the GCE O-level paper marking has been submitted. Foreign news protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. Sports gymnastics, Simone Biles wins record 8th US all-round title. News in detail. The Department of Health has cautioned the public of the prevailing increase in the heat. To ensure the safety and well-being during this period of heightened heat, the department has advised the public to drink enough water and not to be exposed to the sunlight. It has been further requested to pay attention to the infants and the patients. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology report an anticipated increase in heat index, the perceived temperature experienced by the human body, to a caution level in certain areas of the North Central, Ua and Eastern provinces and in the Vaunia and Mullaitivu districts. The Ceylon Electricity Board says usage of power has increased due to the prevailing arid weather. The approximate daily consumption of power, which has been 44 megawatt hours, has increased to 51 gigawatt hours. Water available in the tanks of the country is managed under the monitoring of the National Water Supply and Drainage Board. CEB further points out that it would be impossible to provide necessary drinking water to some main cities of the country, including Colombo, Kandy, and in case generation of hydropower is increased. The Disaster Management Centre reports that 84,643 families in 19 districts are facing shortage of drinking water. The northern and eastern provinces are the most affected. Drinking water is being supplied to the public through 100 water bowsers. The Director General of the Centre, Major General Sudhanta Ransinga, says that 6.8 billion rupees have been allocated to provide concessions. Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardana advises officials to take action to solve the administrative issues of the Samurdhi officers before the oncoming budget. The country is currently undergoing a crisis. Therefore, everybody should be committed to solve the issues at hand in a peaceful manner. The Premier expressed these views taking part at a discussion held today at the Temple Trees on the issuance of Samurdhi officers. The officer explained about the regulations and circulars that inhibit giving solutions to the prevailing issues. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardana says that the educated young generation has the potential of being the dynamic power that uplifts the country for a better future. The minister expressed these views at the 6th convocation ceremony of the KIU University held in Colombo. Convocation is a milestone of the undergraduate's life which bears the fruits and his dedication, determination and perseverance. The degree enriches the graduate with not only an academic qualification but also a set of principles on which they can build their life. It is the duty of the politicians to create an innovative education policy which will provide equal opportunities to everyone. The minister emphasized that he is determined to create such an environment. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The government says slight delays may occur in the computer systems of the banks in paying the Aswasuma benefits as it will involve a large number of operations in a number of bank accounts. Accordingly, Aswasuma benefit credits may be delayed. State Minister Shan Semasinghe requests the beneficiaries to be patient in this regard. The Treasury has allocated 5 billion rupees for the Aswasuma benefit payments. The first installment will be distributed among 800,000 families. A specific date will be soon announced to pay the Aswasuma benefits so that the delays will be reduced. He further added that those who are not eligible for the benefits will be removed. The public can lodge complaints in this regard to the Aswasuma Welfare Board from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekdays via the hotline number 1924. Minister Dr. Susil Premchand says that a cabinet paper regarding the daily allowance for the GCE O-level paper marking has been submitted. 5,400 graduates will be recruited into the Sri Lanka teaching service afresh. 1,700 of them will be recruited to the national schools. The relevant competitive exam will be held in the near future. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The second phase of the second school term for 2023 academic year in all government and government-approved private schools commenced today. The first phase of the second term of the 2023 academic year ended on August 17th. However, all government schools within the Kandy town limits will remain closed for 3 days owing to the traffic congestion for the Kandy Asla Perhara festival. Accordingly, the governor of the Central Province Lalithu Gamage announced that relevant schools will be closed on the 28th, 29th and the 31st of August. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Live is brought to you by
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
In Watchlight this evening, the Central Bank has informed the general public that it does not collect taxes from the people directly under any circumstances. In a statement to make people aware of the online scams, the Central Bank mentions that any request made to invest in get-rich-quick schemes could be scams, informing the public to be aware of such online scams as it will possibly lose hard-earned money. Furthermore, the Central Bank clarifies that the scammers could also convince the public to pay taxes to the CBSL in order to withdraw certain funds, asserting that the Central Bank does not collect taxes from the people on any occasion. And that came to you in Watchlight.
CIB Janajaya Vasana. Unbelievable discounts and offers throughout August from CIB Janajaya Vasana. Come today itself.
World News, the headlines. Protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. North Korea eases COVID rules to let in citizens stuck abroad. And France to ban wearing abaya dress in schools. Libya's premier has suspended his foreign minister after she met informally with her Israeli counterpart. Libya does not recognize Israel and the meeting has sparked protests in the majority Arab state. Israeli Foreign Minister Eli Cohen said the meeting with Naila al-Mangosh was historic first step in establishing relations. However, Libya's Presidential Council, which represents its 3 provinces, said it was illegal to normalize relations with Israel. North Korea will start allowing in citizens who have been locked out for almost 4 years due to the pandemic border controls. Returning individuals will be subject to a 7-day quarantine under medical supervision at dedicated facilities. It appears to be its latest act to scale back COVID restrictions, coming just days after the first Pyongyang flight landed in Beijing since 2020. China last week reopened commercial air travel between Beijing and Pyongyang. North Korea is one of the last few countries to do so. Ahead of back-to-school season, the Education Minister of France said the wearing of abaya will be banned in state-run schools. France, which has enforced a strict ban on religious signs in state schools since 19th century, laws removed traditional Catholic influence from public education, has struggled to update guidelines to deal with the Muslim minority. The move comes after months of debate over the wearing of abayas in French schools, where women have long been banned from wearing the hijab. Back to the headlines of the world news. Protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. North Korea eases COVID rules to let in citizens stuck abroad. And France to ban wearing a abaya dress in schools. That ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by
Job opportunities for well-experienced housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia and Kuwait for ages 40 to 58 years. Salary 125,000 rupees. Contact 037 7500 500.
Development news. The Hambantota International Port HIP has joined hands with Ministry of Youth Affairs Small Enterprise Development Division to bring about progressive change for the entrepreneurs in the Hambantota district. The Seafair, supported by HIP, will showcase authentic local products, mostly indigenous to the Hambantota district, that will be attractive to cruise passengers disembarking at the port. The event is scheduled to coincide with cruise ship calls, and vendors will be given prior notice as to the dates on which it will be held. All infrastructure facilities for Seafair are provided to entrepreneurs free of charge. And that was Development News.
Job opportunities for women from Deshakti Lanka in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait and Oman. Housemaids and home cooks in Saudi Arabia, ages 40 to 58 years. Arabic speaking and well-experienced home cooks. Salary 125,000 rupees. Interviews are now on with foreign agents. You can travel overseas free of charge now. Branches Colombo, Kurunegala, Anuradhapura and Matara. Contact number 0377 500 500. Deshakti Lanka Foreign Employment Agency.
On to sports news. Simone Biles broke a 9-year record by winning her 8th all-round title at the US Gymnastics Championship. Her win comes less than a month after the 4-time Olympic champion returned to competition following a 2-year break to work on her mental health. Biles moved ahead of Alfred Joachim, who claimed his 7th US title in 1933. She was the only competitor to finish the 2 days of competition in San Joachim with 2 scores of 15 or higher. She first became US all-round champion in 2013 and matched Joachim's record in 2021. And that's the sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cinnamon Life Integrated Resort has proudly clinched second place at the prestigious International Congress and Convention Association ICCA Asia Pacific Business Events Youth Challenge Finals, underscoring a remarkable triumph on the global stage. The achievement signifies a momentous milestone for Cinnamon Life Integrated Resort and the country on the international events landscape. The competition witnessed 50 emerging professionals across the Asia-Pacific region, and that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැ කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all-new NSB Ithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Sri Lanka's Ministry of Defence has given permission for the Chinese research survey vessel Xi'an 6 to dock at the port of Sri Lanka. A spokesman of the ministry has stated that a Chinese ship was given permission to enter the island's maritime zone following a request from the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Aquatic Resources Research and Development Agency. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showery condition is expected to enhance to some extent in the southern province part of the island in the next few days. Several spares of showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Nuwara, Kandy, Galle and Matra districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at a few places in the Uva province and in the Ampara and Batiklo district during the evening or night. And that was the weather report.
Weather report.
Back to the headlines of this news broadcast. The Department of Health cautions the public of the dry weather condition. The Prime Minister advises the officials to take action to solve the administrative issues of the Samudhi officers. Minister Dr. Bandulu Gunodhana says that the educated young generation is a dynamic power that uplifts the country for a better future. The Treasury allocates 5 billion rupees for the Aswasuma benefit payments. A cabinet paper regarding the daily allowance for the GCE O-level paper marking has been submitted. Foreign news: protests erupt in Libya over contact with Israel. Sports is gymnastics. Simone Biles wins record 8th US all-round title. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.